Hi, my name is Jeff and welcome back to my workshop. Today we're continuing work on the hand-laid turnout. This is really just a test and proof of concept for the layout. Today we're going to work on the point rails. I'm going to start with the diverging point rail. So we're working from the straight stack rail over. So I pre-bent the rail so that it follows the curve nicely. Doesn't have to be exact, but we want it close. Then we're going to take the turnout and we are going to mark the area of it that we need to file away to make the point. So we're going to file away the back of it. We're also going to, so everything is flush with the web is what is our goal here. And with that done, now we can take, I'm using the Dremel with a grinding bit on it again, as I did before, and we're just going to grind this down to get a nice flat, bring it to a point. And then we'll also do the opposite side, just the rail head at the top. We'll cut a angle in there so that we can grind an angle in there so that we get a good clean point and everything sits close to that stock rail. By the way, if you've been following my channel, you know I'm working on a cutting mat that I picked up. Very inexpensive one from Michael's. They were like 2 for $11. You can see the grid has all worn off of it. They got very dirty very quickly, and when you try and clean it, it takes the adhesive off as well as the lines. This process will actually cause some melting to it as I was grinding away, so the pad melted a little bit in a couple of spots. So be aware of that if you're going to pick those up at Michael's. They may be good for quilters. My wife seems to think that they come in handy for her. But for model building, I think I'm going to stick with the traditional thicker self-healing cutting mats, like the one I had prior to this. So once this one's ready to go, I will be replacing it. But right now I'm just grinding everything down. Take your time. You want to make sure you get everything flush with that stack rail, and test fit as you go if you need to. That way, if you need to take off a little more in some place, you can. But this way, you can test it. Make sure everything fits into the notch. It sits nicely into that notch, and make your adjustments as you go. By the way, as I said, if you've been following my channel, you know about those cutting mats. If not, now's a good time to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my videos. I've got building all kinds of hoscale models, so take a look at the channel. And don't forget to like this video if you're enjoying it, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I love hearing from you. If you know people who might find this useful, please share the video with them. So again, I'm just kind of making sure, grinding that point and fine-tuning it. Work slowly. Don't put too much pressure on it. You can see it left burn marks on the homosote that I'm building the turnout on right there. So that rail gets really hot, so be careful with that. So the last bit of filing I'm just going to do by hand with a small file. And I'm just kind of dressing the top of that point so that this whole thing fits snugly up against that stock rail. Now we want to be careful where we solder, which sides we solder this to. So we're not going to solder it to the one closest to the throw bar. But right now I just not marked the base of the rail, and I'm just cutting a small notch in it so I can bend the wing rail on the edge of the frog. Again, I'm using my rail nippers for this. And then I can just kind of put a bend in it and check to make sure I'm at the right angle. If I have to straighten it, I can. As you see, a lot of this is just paying attention to detail and getting things lined up correctly. I figure out where the end of that wing rail is so I can cut it to length. I did cut that a little bit long. It's a lot easier to trim it down when you're done than it is to add rail onto it. You'd have to basically start over. So once that's in place, we're going to use some weights to hold it in place. Oh, yeah, I want to also just kind of put an angle, file a little bit of an angle on the end of that wing rail to help guide the wheels through that and into that frog, so we don't prevent derailments. And once we're happy with the placement of this, we'll get out the soldering rig and start soldering. Okay, so with the soldering equipment out, we can solder this in place. Again, we're not going to solder to the throw bar yet, but we are going to solder it in place to the frog in place, plus the those first few ties after the frog. But I want to make sure I clean up that bottom of the rail really well. A little bit of sandpaper, 600 grit paper will do a good job on cleaning that. And that's just like we did with the stock rails in last week's video. Now we're going to get a little flux and put it on the ties. Again, this is the same process we did last week when we installed the stock rails and the frog rails. Again, make sure I have my solder in hand, bring in the soldering iron. I want to get that tip against the base of the rail and on the tie. So I'm heating both parts, and then just bring the solder in next to it. You want to avoid touching the tip of the soldering iron, because you want the heat you want to heat the rail and tie and let the solder flow through that. You don't want to melt the solder with the iron it's directly. If you've got the rail and the tie hot, the solder will just flow right in there. We're going to do that, get all of them in place, and with the first one in, you can see we spot down. We've got a good flow through that frog. That's what we're looking for. With everything soldered down, we're going to leave that for this week. Next week's video, we will install the other point rail and the diverging stock rail and get this turnout finished up. Thank you for watching.